Check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Head toss. Check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Ooh, child. Tired of the bullshit. Gone, dust your shoulders off. Keep it moving. Yes, Lord. Trying to get some new shit in there. Swimwear. Going to the bullshit. Come now.
Come on in, guys. Come on in.
You know you a star. You can touch the sky. I know that it's hard, but you have to try. If you need advice, let me simplify.
Thank you, girl. Thank you. I'm going out tonight, so. Hi, everybody. Okay, so I know I'm a little late. It's 10 after 4. So I tried to do Restream. Don't know how to do the front-facing camera when I stream from my iPad. So that was a little disorienting at first. Didn't even know that was going to be an issue. There was also a huge accident in the front of my neighborhood. Very odd. So kind of delayed running over there. Then I had to call 911 and I was just on the phone with dispatch. Very live PD-ish. It's, you know, hey, it happens. It's Friday in Florida. I mean, that is freaking typical. Go figure. But guys, week 4. Can you believe it's week 4 already? I know I said that. Hey, I think it's J Money is what you asked me to call you last time. J Money, how you doing? Hey, what's up? So I'm just going to turn this song up again because I love it so much. Love this song. Love that song. Okay, so enough of that. But yeah, so I'm a little kerfuffled. It's like, whoo, so many things going on. So if anyone's ever used Restream before, who's in me with me in this video right now, hit me up because I need to know how to stream to multiple places. I want to go to YouTube live. I want to go to my Facebook page live, but that was not working, and it just didn't use the front-facing camera on my iPad. So that's okay. I'll try it again for next week. This is going to be a year of learning, but you know what? That's the fun of being human. You know, you learn new things every day. That's cool. I'll figure it out. But, you know, enough about my trials and tribulations with technology. Let's talk about week 4. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's talk about last night's game. What? Who else had such a good time watching the Eagles-Packers game? Anyone? I sure did. And not only because I absolutely love this idea that the Packers are so amazing, but their defense, their defense has been incredibly stout. I wrote every week, in case you guys didn't know. Thank you, honey. He watched. He loved it. We had 2 of my best friends are diehard Philadelphia Eagles fans. So they were over last night. You can imagine what was going on at our house last night. It was so much fun. I know, John. What a game. Wow is totally right. And I'm so disappointed again, guys. I couldn't stream this out to multiple places, but I'm figuring it out. No worries. I'm sure fantasy football is going to be around in the next couple weeks or next year. So by then, it'll be a whole production. And I'll have, like, fun stuff. I don't even know. But whatever. Mark! Welcome in. You actually made a Fireside Friday. Everyone, ex-Drumheller is my buddy Mark Drumheller. I was just recently on his podcast, The Sports Outliers. Highly recommend you follow them. Especially listen to the newest podcast episode featuring your girl stepmom Lauren over here, who is dying in our fantasy football league. Because it's a super flex. And I drafted Cam Newton and Sam Darnold. Yeah, that's what's happening. So everyone feels really good when they play the fantasy expert. That is me. And they win because my team sucks. But that's what happens. So Mark, you're in hiding in a conference room at work. I won't tell anybody. Hopefully no one at your work knows that. Or maybe they follow me and they also can't say anything because they're listening in too. And everybody, John, too, he writes an excellent article. And John, put your stuff out there, too, so people can follow you. If you guys have any questions about running back, starts, sits, metrics, any kind of data that you want to know, he's your guy to go to. Great dude. But yeah, that game last night was so much fun. The Green Bay Packers have an absolutely excellent defense. They really do. They're first in the league so far against wide receivers. They're second in the league against quarterbacks. They're third in the league against tight ends. But they're 30th against the run game. So I was one of those contrarians, and I liked Miles Sanders. I really liked Jordan Howard. But I understand it's a Thursday night game. So how do you really start those guys? I totally understand if you sat them. That was really the wiser thing to do. But in hindsight, with Jordan Howard scoring 3 friggin' touchdowns, like, who would have called that? Like, I thought they were going to have a good game. I didn't think it was going to be that good. Luckily, I did make up for my deficit. I put Jordan Howard on the bench in one league. That was a big mistake. Huge mistake. But I did have him in a bunch of FanDuel lineups, so I did come out in the green for this week on FanDuel, which is great. Chris Molina, welcome in, welcome in. And they do have an excellent defense, or is it because of Trubisky? Yeah, maybe. Who knows? But they have a really good defense. You can't deny that part. But, you know, it is what it is. I was really impressed with the way that the Eagles were able to bottle up Aaron Jones. Very unfortunate. We had some pretty serious injuries that happened too, which stinks. So everybody pray for Jamal Williams and Maddox. Hopefully they're nothing too serious going on there. For all you Devontae Adams owners, I'm really sorry that you scored a lot of fantasy points and yet he still got turf toe. At least understand that he was nice enough to give you a ton of fantasy points before he got hurt. Because, you know, if you're a Deshaun Jackson owner and you played him week 2, you were really upset. So I don't feel sorry for you. But whatever. Don't worry about Devontae Adams. He'll be fine in a few weeks. It's not a big deal. Anyway, great game to watch. Right up until the very end. This is what TNF should be about, but it is rarely like that. But I love it. So everybody come on in. If you guys are new and you don't know who I am, my name is Lauren. I am a writer for the Fantasy Footballers, Andy, Mike, and Jason, the one and only. The one and ones and only? Is that how, like, pluralizing it? Would that be it? I don't know. Whatever. I'm one of their writers. I write their weekly waiver wire article that publishes every Tuesday. It is based off their podcast that they come out with every Tuesday. It's a 5-day-a-week podcast, guys. Go follow them. They're hilarious. They're great. They've won a ton of awards. But this is about me. I'm just kidding. This is about you guys. But this is Fireside Friday. I do this every single Friday, and I help you guys get ready for your matchups. Hi, how you doing? Yeah, the 3 and only. That's better. That's much better, Neek. Thank you. I appreciate that. The 3 and only, Andy, Mike, and Jason. So those are my bosses, and it's a ton of fun. But this is Fireside Friday. I understand we have a lot of reflection going on. I don't have like a professional studio, okay? I'm working on it, so maybe next year it'll be a little bit different looking. I don't know, but you get the idea. So we are here to help you out for your upcoming weekend starts, sits, questions. If you want to complain about what happened, if you sat Jordan Howard, if you started Nelson Aguilar like I had to do. He gave me a big fat goose egg, which stinks. But yeah, so you guys can all find me right here at Stepmom Lauren. And my website is stepmomlauren.com. I publish all my work there. I publish a Thursday night. Thank you. So Stoney, thank you for telling me to start Hollywood over MVS. I actually started MVS in FanDuel, which kind of sucks because I did lose a lot of money off of him. But did I really do that? I hope you're not saying that to be sarcastic, because if you are, I'm really sorry if I told you to start MVS over Hollywood. But I like Hollywood's upside better. So I hope you were actually being sincere and I didn't just totally mess up your week. Ugh. It's been known to happen. We're not perfect. If we were, then we would, like I say this all the time, if I knew what was going to happen, I would not be, like, in Florida. I would own my own giant mansion and live in Belize and not have a single worry in the world. Well, that's not true. You know, we always have worries. We're human. But anyway, so J Money, you started both Allison and MVS. That's not bad, though. That's not bad. My Scott Fishbowl League is terrible, and I am glad that you are doing well. Geronimo Allison really stepped up. I actually like Geronimo Allison a little bit better than MVS. I believed that preseason. It didn't really come to fruition the first few weeks, but now it's starting to settle in that Geronimo Allison is kind of becoming that number 2 a little bit clearer. So, John, you have Jacobs, and you can hedge all you want, J Money. You can hedge all you want. I like Josh Jacobs a lot. But before we do that, let me just finish this up. You guys can find all my work, stepmomlauren.com. I contribute also to fakepigskin.com. I write a Thursday night football breakdown every week where I kind of look at the fantasy implications of the players. I mean, last night was super fun to watch. Normally it's trash, like garbage, but last night was a great game. So I think I was okay on a majority of who I said to start and sit. The only one I didn't really see coming was Jimmy Graham, because I thought he was hurt, so he was involved a little bit more than I thought he was going to be. But it was still fun. Super fun to watch. This is why football is so amazing. So anyway, guys, let's move on. Let's go to this weekend, this upcoming week 4. It's week 4. What? It seems like the football season takes 3,000 years to get here. And then now we're like, oh my God, it's already week 4. Like, it's almost over. No, it's not. We still have, 12 more weeks left? But it's only 12. I hate it. Or is it technically 13 because we haven't gone through week 4 yet? I don't know. Who cares? But let's go ahead and go into this. Why are you now? See, this is silly. I'm in Google Slides, and sometimes it likes to use buttons, sometimes it doesn't. So sorry about that little bar that pops up. We're learning. Okay, so this is what I do if you're new and just joining me for the first time. And if you're a recurring audience member first, thank you very much for joining me again. I don't like to do this if it weren't for you guys, because this is why I love doing this so much, is being able to interact with you. But if you're new, one of the things that I like to do is look at matchups based on defenses. So I do that versus the running back, the wide receiver, and the tight ends in this. You can also Google search this. NFL.com has some good ones. Fantasy Pros, Pro Football Reference has really good different avenues, different metrics and data that you can look at to decide who you want to start and sit. But this is looking at defenses versus the running back. So these are the worst defenses in the league when it comes to the running back position. So at 32, no surprise here. Thank you, Chris Molina. We love to talk football with you too. I appreciate it. You're the best. Love it. So at 32, no surprise here. It's the Dolphins. So this is a huge situation for Melvin Gordon owners, and it's also a huge situation for Austin Eckler owners. Melvin Gordon is back a lot earlier than I thought he was going to come back, so my bad. I honestly thought he'd hold out a lot longer, but he is most likely, I'm like 99.9% sure, he is going to be inactive for this Sunday's game. So this is going to be Austin Eckler's game. Justin Jackson may actually have, that's why I said Jackson as a flex option, because he may have some fantasy relevance in this game because it's the Dolphins, guys. It's just blah. Jackson's out? Is he out? All right. Okay, he is out. Never mind. So no Justin Jackson as a flex. My bad. Austin Eckler's game. So, he's in a boot? Did I miss that? I totally must have missed that. Thank you guys so much for... Ooh. So Melvin Gordon may be active? See, this is what happens when you miss like 2 hours looking at a car crash and talking to police. I did not hear any of this when I was trying to prepare for today's Fireside Friday, but that's why I have you guys. So you can fill me in on this stuff. So apparently, Justin Jackson is out. So ignore that little bit. I do like Austin Eckler. It is possible Melvin Gordon could get involved. But as far as I know, he's still inactive. I'll table that because apparently I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to Melvin Gordon. Shocking, because he's a very confusing player, but that's fine. Very interesting. I like it. So he's in a boot, and then Chris Molina, he's out. Mike Williams is out too? Jeez, I didn't look at my injuries before I came on and did this. So thank you for you guys filling me in and keep correcting me if any of these are going to be wrong. All right, so Lynn did mention Gordon playing. Keenan Allen season, absolutely. I'm so mad Mike Williams isn't, isn't playing. That stinks. So Gordon could be in a limited role. Oh, God. What a hot mess. Don't these people understand? Fantasy football players have feelings too. Oh, my goodness. Tons of injuries reported today. I need to go and recap. Excuse me, guys. I apologize. I'm still getting over the plague. It's like lingering and it won't go away. Anyway, so Austin Eckler. Sorry. You should have updated that one before I came live. Anyway, so 31st was the Packers, but we already covered that yesterday, so we're going to skip right over to the 30, and that's the Bengals. Guys, I think this should be a James Conner bounce back game. I know if you're like me, you took him in the first round and you're like lamenting your life and you hate fantasy football. Trust me, I get it. This should be a good game for him, especially since the Bengals suck so bad. They're going to rely on James Conner. I like it, especially if Mason Rudolph starts to struggle and they need to just hand the ball off to get first downs. So I do like, so John, our running back whisperer, that's what I'm going to start calling you. You hyped up Conner big time in your article this week. That's fantastic. I like to hear that. So, again, Tweet out your handle, John, so everyone can follow you and read his amazing work. He does a lot of research into this, looks at a lot of different data, and it's pretty fascinating, and he's usually right on point. So that's what I love about John. Plus, he's a nice person. It's pretty good. So I like James Conner a lot this week. 29th against the running back position are the Steelers. So as much as I hate to say this, which maybe I won't even say it because it's just right up here in the slide, I hate Joe Mixon as a person. And honestly, I hate the Bengals offensive line, but this could be a decent game for Joe Mixon. Sorry. Evan, is Kyler Murray the GOAT yet? He's getting there. He's getting there. Please keep asking me every single week. When we have like another stud game by Kyler Murray, which could be happening sometime soon, who are they playing? Dude, they're playing the Seahawks. Actually, he could have a pretty good game against the Seahawks. I don't know. He's getting close to being the GOAT. I like it. Joe Mixon, garbage. I hate even saying his name out loud. Whatever. So 28th against the running back position are the Lions. My wonderful, amazing husband, I'm sorry, they're terrible against running backs. So the problem that we have here is against the Kansas City Chiefs. Ask me that question again. LFC for Life Net. I hope I got that one right. Ask me that again. Let me just go through these really quick. And did my sound go out? So if anyone sees my sound go out, just let me know. Nothing changed. I didn't hit any buttons or anything. Okay, cool. Fixed it. Great. So, all right, guys, the Lions are playing the Kansas City Chiefs, which sucks because we don't know who Andy Reid is going to rely on. And then LaShawn McCoy is actually fully practicing again. So this is very frustrating for running back owners of any capacity. Damian Williams, I believe, is still most likely not going to play if he hasn't been ruled out officially already. Dale Williams is another one. Darwin Thompson was supposed to be this like rookie phenom coming in who barely saw the field last week. This is very frustrating for owners, but if there's one person that I'm going to be relying on the most, and I'm sorry, I heard the LaShawn McCoy news after I had already made this slide. So LaShawn McCoy for me is a starter. And if you don't have LaShawn McCoy, I don't mind firing up Darrell Williams just because LaShawn McCoy's old. So they're going to be working in somebody else besides just him. So, again, I don't love it, though. With LaShawn McCoy fully healthy, I don't love Darrell Williams either. But anyway, 27th ranked. Okay, so I'm sorry. Chiefs fan here, radio saying in KC, Shady's a full go. See, that's what I thought. So Shady is a full go. Not surprising because he is Shady McCoy, and that kind of it's what happened. He's like the Matt Breida. He looks like he breaks his leg or like gets seriously injured, and then he's back either the same day or the following week. But that's why we love Shady McCoy. He's awesome. McCoy's, I think, the one I trust the most in that backfield. If you have to, because you maybe have some bye week issues with the 49ers and the Jets on a bye. I got that right. Yes. 49ers and Jets are on a bye. If you really need somebody, you can probably look at Darrell Williams, especially since Justin Jackson is out. So, something to keep in mind. 27th ranked are the Colts. So, this should be a good game for Josh Jacobs. He should be feeling better now, but I feel his pain because he was super duper sick, and I get it because I'm really sick. John, you said you're going to go to the Seahawks-Cardinals game on Sunday. That is so cool. Take pictures and send them. I love that. And you guys, if you're at the game, if you're having a great party, take pictures, post them, tag me in it. I love to see how everybody does game day because that's what makes football so much fun. It's the sport, but then it's the community and it's the culture, it's the family, it's the friends, it's the food. Lots of F's in there, but that's what makes football so great. So share those with me. I love to see them. Let's make this a family together. You and I, all of us. It's going to be super cool. So those are the running backs I like. Again, Eckler, James Conner, Joe Mixon, just because I don't like him as a person. Darrell Williams, it's actually LaShawn McCoy now. And then Josh Jacobs. I'm firing up Josh Jacobs everywhere I can in my leagues, especially leagues I'm incredibly desperate in, which there are a few of them. And then, boom, you're on my list to go to a game. Excellent. I don't know what that means, but that's okay because that just went by really fast. I don't know if I missed something. Okay, so now let's look at defenses against wide receivers here. I'll try to go through these kind of quickly so I can answer your questions. 32nd ranked, awful, terrible, are the Redskins, which is kind of surprising because I thought they were doing pretty well at the beginning of the season. But we're talking Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes. So this is a good time to fire up Sterling Shepard. I really like him in this matchup. And guys, now is the time to go try to get Golden Tate. Daniel Jones is going to need as many offensive weapons as he can. And he's not afraid to throw, and he's not afraid to use them. So I really like Sterling Shepard. I believe he is Mike Wright's start of the week, one of the fantasy footballers' start of the week, or something like that. Sterling Shepard, I love. Go get Golden Tate if you have the room. Highly recommend that. 31st ranked against wide receivers is the Giants. So Terry McLaurin, keep an eye on his injury because I think he has a hamstring injury or he was questionable. Keep an eye on him, but I do like Terry McLaurin. He is he's Case Keenum's redheaded stepchild. I don't know if that didn't make any sense. He's Case Keenum's boo. He hurts him. Lots of targets. He's been reliable. I love Terry McLaurin. 30th against wide receivers are the Saints. So I have absolutely no problem firing up Amari Cooper if he is healthy, of course. Keep an eye on that. Gallup is still out, right, guys? Fill me in on that. Sterling Shepard, it was the alliteration. That's right. And then they were trying to figure out one for the quarterback, and it didn't make any sense. So is Amari Cooper still out, guys? And you're right, J Money, Paul Richardson is another one, too. If you guys don't have any shares of Terry McLaurin, Paul Richardson did get some good snap count and good volume. And, these are coming by real fast. I love it. Bring it in, guys. Bring it in. So, yes, Gallup is out. So, another sleeper play I like here, if you guys can snipe him up and you want a piece of that high-flying offense against the Saints, lots of points are going to be scored in this game. I think Devin Smith. I really like Devin Smith. I know he didn't do much last week. Don't worry about it. I like him in this matchup against the Saints defense, which is like Swiss cheese against wide receivers. And then Dak is a reliable quarterback. 28th against wide receivers are the Texans. So, with Kyle Allen, another sensation that's coming out. He's going to regress from his 3 million touchdowns he scored last week, let's be honest, but I still think he's going to do well because he has some amazing weapons at his disposal. So I have no problem firing up DJ Moore, and I also don't have any trouble firing up Curtis Samuel. He is the one, besides DJ Moore, according to Matt Harmon's reception perception, which you can only get from the Ultimate Draft Kit. So next year, make sure you purchase that because I work for the Fantasy Footballers, but I have used that since I've played fantasy football anyway. So Curtis Samuel's another one. He's an excellent route runner, great at creating separation. And just to be a little, continue with that mode, I don't mind Greg Olsen either. I know the Texans, I don't know what their rank is against tight ends, but Kyle Allen needs as many veteran, reliable hands and targets that he can find. So I like that a lot. That doesn't scare me at all. 27th against wide receivers are the Steelers. Sorry, Fartwater Manatees. That's my buddy's name. Fartwater Manatees. He's also really, really mad at me because I made a defensive move. He needs a quarterback because his quarterback is Baker Mayfield. So I had a bunch of garbage in my bench, which our bench happens to be pretty big. I dropped a lot of crap to pick up a total of 4 quarterbacks. He is very mad at me, but he won't trade. Not my fault. I played defense. Now I have valuable assets in which to trade, and he doesn't want to do any of that. He just wants to call me names and cry about it like a little baby that he is, even though he's 6'5" and could probably kill me. But it doesn't matter. That's how you play defense. Waiver wire, 50-50, cutthroat. Anywho, Steelers. So I actually do like Tyler Boyd in this. I think anyone know anything about John Ross? I feel like I heard him on the injury report, or I could be totally making that up. So, Chris Moe, yes, the Texans are pretty good against the tight end, but again, it's Greg Olsen. It's one of those, I don't want to call it matchup proof, but I want to call it reliable. So, he may not be the best option for you, but if you are desperate and in need, especially in a deeper league, he should get some points for you. I don't think it's going to be a 2-touchdown game or things like that, but it could be a valuable option because he is going to be someone that's reliable and big and talented. So, anyone put in here about anything about John Ross if I missed anything? But John Ross and Tyler Boyd, I don't mind either of those two starts. 26th against wide receiver is Oakland. So, this is interesting because this is the Colts side, guys. So, T.Y. Hilton still did not practice. Here's the problem with T.Y. Hilton. He is so friggin' good that he doesn't have to practice to play. There is a very good possibility that he plays on Sunday. So, what do we do? That is very, very confusing. So keep your eye on it. If he plays, he will get targets. That's how T.Y. Hilton is. I have him in a league, and I am going to keep him in until I know he's out. So even if he's going to be limited, he can still produce pretty good points. If he is out, it's a game time decision like I have up here, GTD. Take a look at Paris Campbell. Another one is Deion Kane. Those are very deep sleepers. If you guys are desperate for a wide receiver, those are two that I like. Fire up Cooper Kupp. I love Cooper Kupp. Who doesn't like Cooper Kupp? All right, so guys, defenses against the tight end position. 32nd are the Cardinals. Shocking. So Will Dissly, big Montana himself, guys. Will Dissly is making a name for himself, and I could not be more happy about this. I was just talking to my husband a couple weeks ago about how I absolutely love Will Dissly. People laughed at me for that, but you know what? Don't care. Here's my not caring face. I love Will Dissly, especially in this matchup. Look for him to go off. I love it. Same thing with Lockett. And possibly DK Metcalf. If you guys need, again, wide receiver help because of buys or injuries, there you go. 31st against the tight end, Tampa Bay. This one's a little bit more difficult because we're talking about the Rams, and that's Cooper Kupp. Basically, he is like a tight end. But if you guys are in a really deep league, 14 teams, you don't have a tight end, someone's on a bye, I don't know who that, well, Kittle, let's say Kittle's on a bye. You can try to take a stab at Tyler Higbee or Gerald Everett, but I don't love it. But if you have to, at least you know that Tampa's really terrible at defending against the tight end position. So you can at least give that. I don't recommend starting them over anybody else of relevance. But those are just two names that could pop up that have big games that may be surprising because Tampa's so terrible against the tight ends. So 30th are the Dolphins, but this is Chargers. So Hunter Henry's out. Antonio Gates is no longer there. There's not, I mean, what do you do here? So no, I'm not looking at any, it's like Virgil Green. It could be a surprise, but that is going to be such a huge shot in the dark. I'm not even looking at tight ends for the Chargers, so just take that out. I just wanted to leave that in here so you guys at least know that I am looking at these defensive rankings. So 29 are the Chiefs. If anyone spent a lot of money or high waivers on TJ Hawkinson. Oh, Virgil Green is out too? God, what is wrong with these people? Don't they stretch and drink milk? God, eat your Wheaties. Jeez. Ugh. And then, John, that's a very good point. Eckler could very well be their tight end. That is a very, very good observation. And with Melvin Gordon back, guys, just so you know, your Austin Eckler owners, don't freak out. There is value for Austin Eckler on the Chargers. So don't freak out. Don't trade him away just yet. See what he's going to be able to do for you, because I really do think that Austin Eckler is going to have value in this offense with Hunter Henry gone. And now Mike Williams is dealing with these injury issues, which kind of sucks, but which makes me really happy I didn't do the deal in my Fantasy Footballers Riders League, and I got Deshaun Jackson instead of trying to finagle Mike Williams. So I think it was Jeff Greenwood. Thank you for not trading him to me. Anywho, so the Lions are playing the Chiefs. Again, this is going to be a high-flying affair. I'm starting Matt Stafford in one of my big money leagues. I also like TJ Hawkinson, guys. It'll be a get-right game for TJ Hawkinson. I love it. So if you have him, this should be a good game. Hopefully. Now I say that, and it's out in the atmosphere. He's going to suck. And then 28th is going to be the Colts. So Darren Waller. Everyone who has Darren Waller, the Walrus himself, fire him up. It should be pretty dang good. Okay, so now that I have just yapped your ears off, let me go back to this. Okay, I'm going to try to go back through these and see the questions that I missed. Feel free to repeat them so that I can get to your questions. Waller the baller. I like that too. And in Dutch, you're Ryan, right? I'm pretty sure I got that right. And then Stafford is questionable. Yeah, I'm not worried about Stafford. Unless he's still like game time decision, then I would be worried. But nah, he's fine. And then football hurts. It totally does. Eckler is an every week flex. Absolutely. I completely agree. So Goff or Stafford this week? That's a very interesting question. I like Stafford a little bit more, but they're both good starts. So if you want to start one or the other, I don't blame you. But I do like Stafford a little more going up against the Chiefs. It's a very porous defense, and he does have weapons around him that can catch the ball. So I'm going to lean Stafford on this one. But again, Goff is good too. So if you are in that decision, don't feel like you're going to make a bad decision. It could be a wrong one because this is fantasy football, but those are two good options to choose from. And then Green's out too. Okay, would I flex Marvin Jones or Josh Jacobs? I believe in standard, I would flex him. Sounds dirty. I would flex Josh Jacobs just because I think he's going to feast in this game. And that's in standard. I think in PPR for safety, I would do the same. And then for upside in a PPR, I would do Marvin Jones. if I needed a ton of points, let's say if I benched Jordan Howard and I am behind by a ton against my opponent. Both not bad. I think Marvin Jones is a little bit more risky, in my opinion. That's how I see those two. But both good players to choose from. So John, deep sleeper, they just signed Luke Wilson. So there's 2 L's in that Wilson, just so you know, as the fantasy footballers say. Big Montana season. Okay, so I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom here. And if anybody has any further questions, please let me know, because I'm pretty sure I had to skip one of them. So, hey Angie, how you doing? Picked up Paul Richardson to replace Mike Williams. Not bad. I really like that. That's a good, solid play. Again, guys, please feel free to repeat your questions. I feel like I'm neglected you guys this time because I was just trying to get through my notes. Yes, Gallup is out. Okay. Okay, so what if he doesn't play? Okay, so Chris, you were talking about what if Terry McLaurin doesn't play? Trey Quinn or Paul Richardson? I feel in this one, Paul Richardson, but it's one of those like MVS, Geronimo Allison situations. You kind of don't know. But I like what Paul Richardson was able to do. Trey Quinn seemed a little off. He also struggled with that in college. I know he's really trying to do better with that in the NFL, but I don't know. Paul Richardson, a little bit older, more veteran presence, maybe a little more talented. And then Mentor 25, if McLaurin is out, install Paul Richardson. I would, unless you have other options despite who's on that team. So, John, you're playing Danny Dimes over Wentz this week. That was a good play. I actually have Carson Wentz, Daniel Jones, and Matt Stafford, and also Kyle Allen in one league because I'm trying to trade one of them, and I also played a little bit of defense, but I'm actually seriously considering starting Daniel Jones even over Matt Stafford, but I probably won't because that'd be silly. Okay, so I'm going to scroll back down here to the bottom. Okay, so Ross is okay. Thank you, Berserk FF. So John Ross and Tyler Boyd, don't mind either of those two as it starts. And then, okay, let me see if I missed anything here. Thank you for bearing with me here, guys. Appreciate ya. Dimes or Goff? Ooh! Blue Jeep guy, that is spicy. I do really like Goff this week. But the Redskins really suck. Okay, this is one of those situations I'm going to go to the internet machine. Either Fantasy Pros, if you need to compare. I have the ability to compare. What? Stop it, Lauren. Compare. 4 people on Fantasy Pros, 2 people for the fantasy footballers. So those are 2 really good tools that you guys can use if you have start sit questions. Just literally go to Fantasy Pros start sit tool, Fantasy Footballers start sit tool. They're invaluable because they have all of these experts rankings of these players. So we're going to do Daniel Jones or Jared Goff. That is so hard. I'm just wondering if they're going to get Todd Gurley more involved in the passing game, which is really, 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 really going to help Jared Goff. Okay, so just so you know, Fantasy Pro says Jared Goff. So I would go with Goff. That's a tough one, though, especially when you see him blowing up on your bench. That's hard. But just understand, Blue Jeep guy, that you have a difficult decision. And that's a good thing to have when you're in fantasy football. I know it doesn't feel like it, but that means you have a good team. So we already have some interesting bits here. Chris Molina, Wayne Gallman or Chris Thompson in a PPR league have to pivot from Mike Williams. That's a tough one. You're talking about almost guaranteed volume with Wayne Gallman. And gosh, that's hard. I'm really glad you guys give me such difficult questions here. So you said that's in a PPR, so that's okay. I'm gonna ask someone else because I don't know about that. I would have that same question. I'm leaning Chris Thompson, if you need the upside, because I believe that they can beat the Giants through the air on the ground, if that makes sense. I don't know, though, but that's a really good question. Let me check this out here real quick for you, Chris Molina, because that's a really good question. I know a lot of people spent a lot of fab money or a very high waiver priority to get Wayne Gallman, so you want to start him. I completely get that. So, okay, in standard, for sure, Wayne Gallman. Let's take a look at PPR and see if that has anything different here. And in PPR, it's also Wayne Gallman, but that's a little bit narrower of a margin. But you're looking at volume here, honestly, but that does scare me. So understand that that is a very difficult decision. But yeah, I would lean Wayne Gallman. Chris Thompson, though, that's an upside option. It's an upside option. But in your case, Wayne Gallman. I kind of wanted to say Chris Thompson, like I said before, but now that I've thought about it for a minute and Fantasy Pros and y'all have said, no, Lauren, don't be stupid. I was like, yeah, that's stupid. I picked Chris Thompson. So silly. All right. So, Berserk, you have Dalvin Cook. Is that Julio Jones or is that Aaron Jones? Dalvin Cook, Jones, Monty in one league, and I need to trade for Kerryon Johnson to have the division. You need to trade one of them for Kerryon Johnson. The Aaron Jones owner would be that was the first one I would want to get rid of, would be Aaron Jones. Keep Dalvin Cook. Don't get rid of him. But see if you can try to pawn off Aaron Jones or David Montgomery. Wait until David Montgomery has a really good week, because they seem to be using a lot of Tariq Cohen still. Even then, I don't know. I would try to get rid of Aaron Jones if I were in your position. But again, I'm not like awesome at trades. So what do you guys think? You guys help Berserk FF out. So Dimes without Saquon, you wouldn't risk it. Weapons around golf are better. I do agree with you on that. It's tough. We'll see how Danny Dimes does without Saquon. But you know what? He did pretty good when Saquon got hurt. Because didn't he throw 2 more touchdowns after Saquon got hurt? Or am I making things up? Because I didn't watch the game. I did see highlights. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. Okay, so yeah. So Kevin Smedley says he came back from down 18 points without Barkley. That's, yeah. Okay, so Soprano, Stafford or Josh Allen? For sure, Matt Stafford. Guys, the Patriots and the Bills have a crazy rivalry. So I am staying away from Patriots and Bills players where I can. I can't in many leagues because I've got Julian Edelman and I've got James White and I don't have a choice. I have to start them. But if I have a choice to avoid those players and I maybe have other options, I would. The Bills play the Patriots hard. And they get into Tom Brady's face and they mess with his psyche. So I don't like this matchup for Josh Allen. So I would take Stafford over him in a heartbeat. Oh, okay, yeah, Stafford. You are welcome, Blue Jeep guy. I hope I helped. And then definitely not Josh Allen. John agrees with me. And then no McLaurin, more targets. I don't know what you're talking about there, but that's cool. I'm sure you guys did. Okay, let me scroll down here. Should you trade Jordan High after last night? If you need a piece... I don't know what your name is. Let me see if I can get that there. I am not even going to try. UNC Phillips, 1964. Got it. If you are missing a piece in your offense, let's say you need a stud wide receiver, maybe you want to go after like a Kelsey. I'm not sure if you'd be able to get it for that. But yeah, if you don't want to keep Howard and you are afraid of his workload moving forward, I'm personally not. I am keeping Howard and I don't want to trade him away. He, I believe, is a solid piece for me that can provide some safety. Not upside necessarily, but safety. But if you need a piece, now is the time to capitalize on Jordan Howard. That's an excellent question. If you need someone, I say go for it. And then, let's see, Dimes ran 2 touchdowns and 2 passing touchdowns. I know, I like it. I like it. I really like it. And then, Chris Mo, you said you love Josh Allen this week, but you love him every week. You're very biased. I get it, but it's against the Patriots. I don't want that headache. He could do very well, but I just don't want the headache against the Patriots. That's going to be a ground, pound, like, blah. It's going to be cray. It's going to be cray. So, whatever your handle is, Lamar Jackson or Phillip Rivers. Both very good starts. I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson. Don't get cute, always Lamar. Let's see, Berserk, wide receiver 2 of the week behind Adams will be Galladay. I hope so. I'm trying to get Galladay from one of my friends. The guy who needs a quarterback won't deal Kenny Galladay when he's got Tyler Lockett and other wide receivers. So, whatever. Go figure. So, the rushing total is what Chris Molina likes. So, yeah. Okay, I think I've caught up on your questions, guys. And I'm going to let you go. About 4:50-ish almost. And again, guys, you can, first of all, thank you everybody for joining me. I really wanted to multicast this. Didn't quite work out, but we're still figuring out the kinks here. But before we go, LFC for life, net. McLaurin, Fitz, or Jacobs in standard scoring. Josh Jacobs. I would rank that Jacobs, Fitz, McLaurin, but I still like Josh Jacobs. Trubisky ready to take down the Vikings? Sure. I would love to see that. That'd be great. That should be a really good game, actually. And you're welcome for the talk. I hope you do tune in next week. I will be on Wednesday around the same time, Friday around the same time. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. I always appreciate it. I love hearing your questions. Send me some pics of your game day. If you're going to the game, send me pictures. Put them on Twitter. I love it. I absolutely love seeing it. You guys can find all of my work at stepmomlauren.com. And find me on Twitter, find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I do have my own YouTube channel, so this video will be on YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube, thank you very much. Please like and subscribe. Always appreciate people being a part of this community. At Stepmom Lauren. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. And as always, thank you. I do this for you guys. And good luck this weekend. Feel free to @ me if I give you terrible advice, and I will apologize profusely. Also, feel free to @ me when I give you a very good start. I like that too. A little positive reinforcement. But you guys have a fun and safe weekend. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next Wednesday.